So Marco Rubio introduced probably one of the silliest and dumbest policies I've ever seen in my life. He introduced this bill. It's almost like a parody of the idea of means testing. So a new bill from Rubio would give Americans who survive a terrorist attack a 1-year deferment on their federal student loan payments. If you survive a terrorist attack, you get a 1-year deferment on your federal student loan payments. He said, quote, "We should do everything in our power to help those who survive a terrorist attack to get their life back on track." It's hard to parody this because it's, on its face, it's one of the silliest things I've ever read in my life. It's almost equal to Kamala Harris's, or actually it probably surpasses Kamala Harris's, like, you get a reduction in your student loan payments if you open up a business in disadvantaged communities of color and you keep it open for X number of years or whatever the fuck it was. I'm butchering it, but the gist of it was like, jump through all of these hoops and then maybe we give you a little bit of relief. A little bit. And by the way, I love the idea that it's, you have to survive a terrorist attack and then it's just a deferment on your payments, which I think deferment, that it doesn't mean they're eliminating the payment. It just means like you can have more time before you have to pay it, correct? I think that's what that means. I could be incorrect. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that's what that means. So, I mean, what a joke. This is what happens when you have a society, or excuse me, when you have, I should say, a ruling class, when you have elites who have waged a war on the idea of the commons for decades now, for a generation. Ever since Reagan, really. There's been this notion that the scariest words in the English language are, "I'm from the government and I'm here to help." And admittedly, this is not what the actual public believes according to the polling, but among the elected officials in DC, the Republican Party is all in on corruption and they're all in on trickle-down economics and deregulation and giving the wealthy all the money. And the Democrats are neoliberal corporatists. The Democrats are all in the mold, or most of them are in the mold of Bill Clinton. It's this triangulation approach. It's the new Democrat approach. It's like, hey, I'm not like these crazy lefties. I'm in the middle between the lefties and the far-right insane Republicans, which, by the way, logically, that would mean you're saying I'm half insane because I want to meet these fully insane Republicans halfway. So, but this is what happens. They don't realize how ridiculous this looks. They don't realize that I'm against student loan debt as a matter of principle. It's like a weird form of indentured servitude. We have $1.7 trillion worth of student loan debt in this country. That holds an entire generation back from starting their lives and having a shot at what we used to call the American dream. $1.7 trillion. Can you imagine the massive stimulus it would be for the economy if you eliminated $1.7 trillion in student loan debt? He's saying you have to survive a terrorist attack and then you get a 1-year deferment on your student loan payments. That's beyond a joke. We should eliminate all student loan debt. We should have free college. We should have free college. There are other developed countries that have free college. And if you happen to think, well, that's insane, why would you ever do that? We already do that with high school. You can go to a public high school and it's effectively free. It's free at the point of service. It's paid for via taxes, but it's free at the point of service. That's exactly what we're calling for college as well. Eliminate student loan debt, give people free college, give people a chance at a decent life. Give people a chance at a decent life. And so, I mean, this is pathetic. And what do you have on the Democratic side? You have some of them pay lip service and say, yes, we should, eliminate student loan debt, or we should reduce student loan debt. But really, that's been whittled down more and more and more and more and more. And so, I don't know if you guys know this, but Joe Biden has the authority to eliminate all student loan debt like that. Like that. And he's pretending like he doesn't have that authority. But even if he really believed I do have this authority, he went from like $50,000 of relief to $10,000 of relief to go fuck yourself. And so now we're not getting any student loan debt relief. And this is insane. I mean, there was, I think they deferred payments during COVID, but I think that time is coming up now where people are going to have to pay, and they can't fucking afford it. They can't fucking afford it. That's another crisis waiting to happen. It's one of many crises that are going to come about as a result of, the end of the COVID pandemic and now everything getting back to normal, but people's finances are all out of fucking whack. What do you think's going to happen? 30 or 40% of the country probably can't make their mortgage payment or their rent payment. That's what it was like not that long ago. And I don't think all these people fell into a money pit in the meantime. And this is the best we have from Washington, D.C. A Democratic president who pretends like he doesn't have the authority to do anything on student loan debt, even though he does. He also pawns it off to Congress and says they should pass it, knowing it can't fucking pass because it definitely can't get through the Senate. So that's what we have from the Democrats. All talk half the time, no action. And this is what we get from the Republicans. I'll give your grandmother's sister's third cousin 26% off at Sears if they decide that they open up a hot dog stand in Jalalabad, but they got to get shot and live through the terrorist attack and then apply on 3 different websites and 2 different government buildings, and then we'll do it. This is a parody, man. This is ridiculous. And this is how your government views you. Because you know what? They're really there to represent billionaires and corporations and do their bidding. And anything that's good for the people is simply an afterthought. And it's hilarious that he proposed this and thought, like, I'm nailing it and people are going to love this. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Eliminate all student loan debt. Remember when we hit the heart of COVID? The Fed decided, like that, we're going to pump trillions of dollars of capital, liquidity, into the market like this, into the stock market. They even have a vote on it. That authority was left over from the subprime mortgage crisis and the Great Recession, that the Fed could just not even go through Congress and just say, we got to save the system. Pump trillions into the stock market. They did it without even thinking. But we're talking 1.7 trillion to eliminate all student loan debt, and how are you going to pay for it? We can't pay for that. We can't. Are you kidding me? Let's make it 50,000. Did I say 50,000? I meant 20,000. Did I say that? I meant 10,000. Did I say 10,000? I mean 10,000, but it's a deferment, and then you got to go escape a terrorist attack, and then maybe not. We'll think about it. It's a joke, and it's a clear one at that.